and partners by ensuring that employers put in place a space where the breastfeeding mothers or those that have little ones can take care of their little ones. So there's quite a lot in terms of protecting the rights of employees, but as well as protecting employers, because there are questions to do with reorganization, which used to be vague. What does restructure look like? There used to be silence on claims and allegations, but has the employer given you a chance to represent or to present your side of the story? So hearing is key, and that has been emphasized. In fact, it has gone ahead to provide that where you don't give them fair hearing, you have to pay them a damage, a compensation that it has marked at 4 weeks equal pay, which is a month for that unfair dismissal.
Beyond the legal language and the ministry briefings are the people the law is meant to protect. We went back to workers across different sectors to ask what changes and what still worries them.
It focuses more on the employee, so it gives them an opportunity to benefit from their employer. And in terms of the casual laborers that used to work for many years, many months without being permanent employees, now have an opportunity to actually become permanent employees when they are casual laborers for more than 6 months. So I believe that is an opportunity for them as the employees.
After the break, stay tuned.
The problem is the foundation.
You know the kind of cement I'm using in this foundation? I guarantee you even my grandchildren will come and find this house.
You buy your buy today and get the job done. Strong, reliable, available at hardware shops countrywide.
You need a bigger space to grow your business.
You need to be ready for any season.
You need faster checkouts for these busy days.
You need more equipment to meet demand.
You need to make sure everyone gets paid on time.
In business, you need advice, solutions, and sector expertise when it matters.
Your new office space looks great. What's next?
We get it. Absa Business Banking.
Can I have a light, please? What is this?
Castle Light, the best testing light.
Try it.
Try it, try it, try it. Da, 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 da.
Guys, look at this post.
Nothing hits like extra cold. Castle Light. Try it.
Why pay for someone else's repairs? Say goodbye to hidden costs and hello to peace of mind of a brand new start. Discover the Suzuki range of unmatched, fuel-efficient and reliable options. From the iconic Jimny to the new Across Hybrid. Find the perfect blend of style and world-class efficiency. Upgrade today and enjoy 1 year of free fuel and comprehensive insurance, plus 2 years of free service and a 3-year warranty. Trade in your current car or choose financing to start driving as you pay installments. Don't wait. Visit the Suzuki showroom today or call 0800 211 033 to get started.
Leto inagafumba.
You got Glovo.
Oinacheweta gamukata leto fayo.
You got Glovo.
You can order what you want. You can get what you need.
You got Glovo.
You got it all. Order Glovo and receive it in minutes.
Welcome back. You're still tuned into NBS's Business Perspective. This conversation is streaming both on air and online. We're using the hashtag NBS Business. Download the Apple mobile application for this and so much more premium content on your Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Now, the new Employment Act is being described as the biggest overhaul of Uganda's labor laws in years. However, we ask, will it create better workplaces or add new costs for businesses? For businesses, from large factories to small family-run shops, the Employment Amendment Act is not just a change in workers' rights, it is a compliance deadline. We asked employers how ready they really are. This particular new act introduces new obligations on employers, one from dismissal procedures to breastfeeding facilities, as well as enhanced employee protection. So I ask, how prepared is your organization to comply with some of these changes?
What I know, there will be need for some employers, especially the small and medium enterprises, to review their workplace policies to ensure that they comply with the new provisions, with the new law in the country.
Casual employment has always been subject to a lot of context. We see very many people using casual laborers, myself being inclusive. But now casual employment is limited to 6 months. Thereafter, either the employer needs to put that employee on permanent contract, or lawfully terminate that particular employment or end it. How will this affect sectors that traditionally and are heavily reliant on casual laborers?
No doubt it will affect many of the sectors, especially when it comes to agriculture, tourism and hospitality, manufacturing, construction. This sector mainly, one of the sectors which traditionally use the casual labor, is very common in these sectors. And no doubt what the employers will have to do is to review, to reassess their workforce structures to ensure that they genuinely identify what is short-term employment so that they are able to give those people the opportunities within those 6 months and be able to know what is the need within their operational operations as the companies. Because when you understand that clearly, then you are able to mitigate. But by and large, of course, this also enforces. There is something very important which we also need to recognize, that it standardizes and it strengthens the job security for our people, and also give someone confidence in terms of developing the skills, but also in terms of being able to execute the assignments which is being put across. So if someone is confident and is very sure that his job is secure, then is motivated to work and is able to be more productive than the way we have traditionally been doing. So,
in your opinion, how prepared are organizations to comply with some of these changes?
Preparedness varies from employer to employer. For large organizations, they, for example, have established HR departments. They have the resources. So with such employers, they are prepared. In fact, some have already reviewed policies, HR manuals, but the same cannot be said for smaller companies, for example, SMEs. And you realize that these changes, some require beyond just mere review of policies. They require resources. So small companies are not in position currently to be able to implement and comply. However, progress is being made through awareness, through raising the awareness, and to be able for them to be able to comply and get ready.
It's the situation in which it's failed.
Yeah.
What financial implications could this have? Will these changes have on businesses with emphasis on small communities?
Yeah. Most certainly, this provision of severance allowance will give employers additional financial obligations. Let me just give you an example of a circumstance like restructuring or redundancy. Now, under redundancy, the employer will be expected to pay severance pay, which has been fixed at 1 month per year worked. Now, previously, it wasn't mandatory under redundancy. And then you agree with me that by the time an employer decides to carry out redundancy, they're already in a difficult position. So in addition to that, now you have to pay the 1 month per year worked. Now I want you to imagine a situation where there's this employer who has a number of employees they're laying off. And these employees have worked for long. So when you add up all that, you find that it's going to be a bit difficult for some employers, especially SMEs.
The Employment Amendment Act 2026 seeks to create fairer, safer, and more productive workplaces, but its true success will depend on awareness, compliance, as well as enforcement. Thank you so much for being part of this week's edition of Business Perspective. Once again, we value your feedback. Reach out to us across all socials at Isabella Tugume, at Nabakoza Lydia, at NBS TV. Let's catch up next week, same time, same place. God bless. I remain Isabella Tugume.
NBS. Always.
Up next. Brought to you by Boom Chakala is back with double energy. Grab a rock boom or silverback energy. Check under the cap. What you see is what you win. Rock boom, energy for winners. NBS Live at 9.
Hi. When I was in primary 6 in 1986, Uganda government changed power. And with it came the end of the Mayumba Kumi and the coming in of resistance councils. They since became local councils. People became chairpersons. And some have been in power for 40 years. And they still want to be in power, and they have the opportunity to get the mandate of the people. But let's talk number of villages, Canary.
Well, previously it was Samson's uncles and aunties who wanted that, really clung on to power to BLC 1 year in and year out, and now we're seeing a new move. So for the next election coming up for LC1 elections, we're talking about in the whole of Uganda, 71,214 villages, elections taking place in those entire villages. But not just those. When we look at the village council elections, they will be coming up also, and there will be committee elections will be taking place. That is around the 20th to the 23rd of July 2026, and those, of course, will begin with campaigns, and then the elections later on the 23rd of July. And then we'll have LC1 elections. Now, those we've seen, even the elite, the ones who you'd never think would go for LC1 elections, really now wanting to compete for the same positions.
Especially your colleagues, the Gen Zs. They also want a bit of the pie. And then the women, like Sabia, will want to throw their hearts into the ring.
Of course I want to, especially for the women council, as well as also happening, or rather the votes will be happening soon, the campaigns will be happening soon. Let me just say that the women are standing strong as well. They're not going to be left behind.
I agree with you, but also, you know, the dual citizenship only talks about
are you a candidate?
Ministers. That they cannot hold office if they are, you know, holding dual citizenship.
Yes.
I'm thinking maybe you should reconsider.
reconsider the
running for LC1 elections?
I think we should.
Is it too late?
It is, might be a little too late. Do you think we should reconsider calling the headlines?
The campaigns are just, starting tomorrow.
Too soon.
The elections are on the 23rd.
Way too soon.
Just before we get into the headlines, I am Local Council 1 Chair in the studio, and I'm on a pause. Let's get into the headlines.
The late General Moses Ali be accorded an official burial.
Government releases the final program for the send-off of General Moses Ali.
President of the Republic of Uganda will arrive at Parliament.
Parliament to pay tribute to the fallen former Deputy Prime Minister.
Body will be airlifted at Abili.
Germany prepares for the burial of General Moses Ali as digging of the grave starts at Takwa Mosque Cemetery.
Today and tomorrow it will be done, the grave will be ready.
We have a number of engineers who are recording statements at IGJ.
President Yoweri Museveni sacks 6 more engineers over the stalled Busegampigi Expressway.
They were involved, the president has guided, they have to be checked and they are worked on, and we are happy.
Food aid destined for Karamoja has been dispatched.
Food is going to Amuda. Food is going to Nakapiripiri. Food is going to...
The Prime Minister warns against diverting it.
Anyone found culpable will be dealt with.
Excitement as campaigns for LC elections begin, as candidates promise to deliver outside their mandate. Andy Burnham takes over as UK's Prime Minister, the 7th in a decade.
This is NBS Live at 9 with Victoria Sibia, Samson Kasumba, and Kanari Mugume.
On to our top story tonight. President Yoweri Museveni has again sacked more 6 engineers in the Ministry of Works and Transport, accusing them of their involvement in the deals that have stalled the Busegampigi and Mityana Mubende Road projects. The 6 joined former Permanent Secretary Waiswa Bagea and 3 other engineers who were earlier dismissed over the same allegations. The Minister for Works and Transport, Fred Byamukama, announced the dismissals on Monday while appearing before the Parliament's Committee on Fiscal Infrastructure alongside officials from the Ministry of Works and Transport.
Officials from the Ministry of Works and Transport appeared before the Parliament's Committee on Fiscal Infrastructure to explain the management of projects in the ministry. The officials were first put to task over the Busegampigi Expressway, which has stalled for years, and why the project cost has more than quintupled from 547 billion shillings to 1.3 trillion shillings.
Also discovered it is true, there are always delays in most of the contracts as far as road construction is concerned.
Why was the design changed at a cost of 120% higher than the initial cost?
Why was the alignment changed? People were poor, wanted money.
Because I've seen, it seems they have used that loophole of the laws to inflate the costs. And all along we have been giving questions here which they have failed to answer.
It is true the road was diverted from a dry land to a wetland, and the investigations are still going on.
The Minister of Works and Transport told the committee that there were influential people behind the changing of the route who were seeking compensation for their houses and shamefully even for their land titles in the wetlands.
A few individuals had some structures ahead after the swamp, so the only way to reach on their buildings was through the swamp. Unfortunately, as you reach now, all of them are demolished, but reports are available.
Honorable Minister, maybe because you don't want to say all these individuals are involved, you tell us the individuals.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Chair. And again, the issue of the titles, it is true there were titles in the swamp, but I think by the time they wanted to compensate them, already the whistleblowers had brought this on board.
They should still help us to know who are those people who caused the changes and who are the owners of those titles in the swamps, so that they can be recorded and we know that these are the very people who brought problems to the Ugandans.
The people who are suspected were implicated. That's why you saw our PS being interdicted, and yet by that time he was not much involved in these things. The PS was interdicted, and we have a number of engineers who are recording statements at IGG. I want to leave it at that. IGG is handling.
The minister further informed the committee that he had received a letter from the president earlier on Monday dismissing 6 engineers in the ministry over their involvement in the mess surrounding the construction of the Busega-Mpigi Expressway and the Mityana-Mubende Road.
So as I was leaving this morning, my office, I saw a letter from the president sacking 6 engineers, including a few I'm seeing on this front bench here, sacking them, not even interdicting they should go. And is choosing them on projects of Busega-Mpigi, Mubende, Fort Portal Road, the Masaka Mutukula, and many other projects.
And the minister said people were sacked. So members are asking, who are those ones? We mentioned them. It doesn't mean they will go away, because members, yeah, unless otherwise, because everyone is now fearing, he thinks he's the one.
Some of them don't even know their fate. The minister has not yet told them. So as they are here, I think they are pointing at each other. They don't know who is going.
The 6 add to the former permanent secretary Waiso Bagea and 3 other engineers who were dismissed over the same road projects.
Still talking the big story of the evening, it is a multi-agency investigation led by the Inspectorate of Government and State House Forensic Auditors. Yes, they had to be forensic. They have launched an investigation into the Busega-Mpigi Express project. The probe follows a direct order. It is direct, and it is from the fountain of former President Yoweri Museveni, who alleged widespread corruption, route manipulation, and massive financial inflation. But what were verified were administrative and financial files from ongoing criminal allegations and contextual factors. So let's get into those, beginning with the project's budget. And shall we? The budget escalation. And you're moving from 550 to 600 billion initial 2026 estimates. That's the figure for 2016. And that has skyrocketed, that's the word there, skyrocketed to the current cost of 2 trillion. The people doing these things have children and they also use roads, okay? And sometimes they go to worship centers. Good. All this is happening at the time when Fred Byamukama became the Minister of Works. Corruption and deliberately created delays in design approvals and contract variations significantly bloated the remaining shillings 1.3 trillion main highway budget. So the increase from the initial cost is about 1.3 trillion shillings as far as the budget is concerned. So top engineers are now, at least for the moment, jobless. That includes Engineer Dickens Ahimbisiwe, Senior Project Engineer, suspended, and Engineer Edwin Raymond Chiaga, Senior Project Engineer, suspended, and Engineer Patrick Mureme, Senior Project Engineer. Those 3, at the moment, in my vernacular, they would say, Barira Kunsiko. They have no jobs. Engineers changed the route. The president informed the IGG that, I quote, corrupt engineers, that's the adjective, deliberately diverted the road's pathway from compensated areas and through their own lands for personal enrichment. So government, you and I, the taxpayer, paid for land. They diverted it so that the road goes to land they own, so they make money. The president informed the IGG of that fact, that there were route changes, unfortunately. Now, all project money paid out. The initial African Development Bank loan was almost fully disbursed, and physical works complete is just a meager 40%. And yet, this project was supposed to be completed all those donkey years ago, I think around the figure of the year of 2023. Current status, following a late 2025 supplementary bailout loan of euros 217 million, approximately 780 billion. Construction has resumed and currently stands from 40 to 47%. Now, current status, following that I just read, we are looking at 47%. That's why those of you and those of us who are going to the West, Masaka, and those areas keep getting stuck in traffic. But there's no traffic here between myself and Kanre, and there's no jam. Kanre, this is now Chisanja, hakuna mchezo.
Well, what I've been hearing from the comments online is it is the president informing the IGG and then, of the details, which I'm going to give you a summary of, and then the IGG going on to investigate. The IGG is the investigating arm, but the president is informing the investigative arm. But let's get into it. The original parameters, 2016 to 2020, the main expressway, not the entire total project cost, but the main one was supposed to cost between 550 to 600 billion. As we speak right now, the current standing, it is now at 1.3 trillion shillings. And the reason they gave is that there's been inflated due to the redesigns, the delays, and alleged fraud. Now, the total project cost is supposed to cost about 600 billion right there. It has now jumped to 2 trillion shillings. That's a huge cost. Now, this also includes 700 billion for the newly added Busega Systems interchange, as you can see right there. And then the completion percentage, of course, we did expect that by 2023 it would be at 100% complete. But what we have now is stalling at 47%, and that means a huge chunk of it is still out there undone. But then the reasons given were that works resumed after supplementary funding was secured, and now we do hope that maybe it could be delivered. But the expected delivery date was supposed to be between May 2022 and 2023, and now we do now hear that the new date has changed to 2028 to 2030 because of all these delays. That means it will be delayed by 5 to 7 years due to the legal, land, and financial disputes. That's going to be quite an interesting one here. Now, because of all these reasons, money jumping from 600 billion to 2 trillion, the 6 engineers had to be fired. Wait to see now what happens thereafter. Is it prosecution? Are they brought to court? Do we look at the evidence? And now, where does the road stand, or will continue to be in traffic until 2028 to 2030? That's the big question tonight.
Very interesting. Now let's get into the engineers that have been sacked. And the rider here is the ones here. There's nothing about their luck. It's just that our production team couldn't find any pictures. I hope the rest did not hope that they will also be like that without their pictures. But as soon as we find the pictures of these, they'll also be on the screen. So let's go through the names. Engineer Twesige Ronald, Head Contracts Committee at the Civil Aviation Authority. This crackdown is sparing nobody. Engineer Soma Ayub, Director, Entebbe Airport. And then Miss Helen Wenene, Head Legal Civil Aviation Authority. Engineer Olaki Ronald, Project Manager of the Stored Masaka Chotera Mutukula Road. Engineer Chisambira Rogers, Project Manager on the ongoing AFCON roads in Hoiman, Kampala, and Engineer Chitonsa Stephen, Engineer-in-Chief at the Ministry of Works. The changes are tough and deliberate, and the President is in the mood to send people home, Kanre.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens thereafter, because now the big question is, what are the new dates? Where are we going thereafter?
That's going to be very interesting, but moving away from that story, we go back to the story at the beginning of the top of the hour, and of course it's that very unfortunate story at the beginning of the weekend where we did hear of the passing of a senior citizen, and that is former Deputy Prime Minister General Moses Ali. And it is the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni, that is set to pay tribute to the fallen veteran politician General Moses Ali during the special parliament sitting on Tuesday. The Minister for the Presidency, Emily Babalanda, confirmed, saying that thereafter the Vice President Jessica Alupo, retired Major, will represent the President at the official burial in Adjumani on Wednesday.
Can we please raise up for the national anthem?
Accompanied by Siraj Musa Ali, the State Minister for Works and son of late General Moses Ali, Hassan Kaps Fungaro, Chairperson of West Nile Parliamentary Caucus, and the National Organizing Committee for the burial, the Minister for Presidency Millie Babalanda, confirmed that President Museveni will personally attend Tuesday's special parliamentary sitting to pay tribute and celebrate the life of the deceased.
His Excellency General Retired Mzee Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has directed that the late General Moses Ali be accorded an official burial.
Babalanda also clarified earlier conflicting reports regarding the burial program, stating that the body of General Moses Ali will be flown to Adjumani on Tuesday afternoon before being laid to rest on Wednesday. She added that Vice President Jessica Alupo will represent President Museveni at the burial as the chief mourner.
Fellow Ugandans, the government of Uganda sincerely commiserates with His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Retired Mzee Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the bereaved family, the NRM leadership, the people of West Nile and Madi sub-region, and all Ugandans upon the loss of a renowned leader and dedicated citizen.
The chairperson of the West Nile Parliamentary Caucus, Hassan Kaps Fungaro, says he had hoped the final journey of the late General Moses Ali would include a stop in Arua, the region's metropolitan city, to allow the people of West Nile to celebrate one of their most distinguished sons. However, he noted that his team would respect the official burial program and would organize a separate tribute in accordance with the family's wishes after the burial.
With this program, which has been squeezed together, many things are not going to flow the way people expected. Kololo is a ground where national figures of dignity, people who deserve national respect, are also taken there, where people are many, the masses can go there and then view the person they love. This program has been cancelled. The Arua program has been cancelled. The one of Yumbi has been cancelled. Then we are all going to Adjumani. Adjumani there, you see, things are going to be squeezed.
Born in 1939, General Moses Ali was a distinguished Ugandan lawyer, military officer and politician. Affectionately known as the Lion of Adjumani, he enjoyed a remarkable political career spanning nearly every major post-independence government in Uganda, serving in several senior cabinet positions including First Deputy Prime Minister and Second Deputy Prime Minister.
Lest we forget the distinguished service of the now departed general from 1939 to 2026. Preparations for the burial of General Moses Ali are underway at Takwa Mosque Cemetery in very much West Nile, and we're talking Abirichaku village in Adjumani Town Council, where workers have started digging the grave ahead of the interment in accordance with Islamic and faith.
Right now we're in a cemetery, Islamic cemetery, and this is where we normally bury our brothers and sisters who died. We bury them here. Since we have lost in Adjumani district, we have lost one of our elder, our father, a very important person in Adjumani district and West Nile and Uganda at large. That is the Right Honorable Dr. Al-Hajj General Moses Ali, who passed some 2 days ago, and inshallah this is where we are going to put him to rest as the program continue to be updated, inshallah. So that one in the background there, that is exactly now today we have started the preparation for the grave. General, for us in Adjumani district, we know him as, actually we have given him a name. We call him the cock of West Nile, Adjumani, meaning someone who has stand for the people of Adjumani, who has worked for his people every time. He's very close to Almighty Allah. He's always praying. That's why at one time also he told us our motto of Uganda said, "For God and my country." That's why he's always close to his creature, and I know him because he is someone for everyone.
More to come, brought to you by
Global Paint! Oh, for the seating, for us we use Global Mat.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
Campaigns, yes, campaigns kick off across the country for those who are interested in becoming chairpersons as far as local council elections are concerned, including the women committees right there. Those will be coming very, very soon. If I trusted Ugandan voters enough to go to the polls and know what they are doing, I would have been a candidate for LC1 elections somewhere. But I don't trust you voters.
Before the medal, before the success, there are mornings no one sees. Days you carry alone. Days the doors won't stay open. Days you need more than you have. Fighting for something bigger than yourself. In those moments, it is the people that show up for us. alone, a door that stays open. A silent push to get you moving again. The ones you don't see fighting for you while you're fighting for yourself. That's what it means to have someone on your side. I&M Bank, on your side.
Hello, Mr. Mkasa.
Hello, how are you?
I'm okay, sir. Are you the broker?
The original one.
I was told you have very good rentals.
That is right. How many bedrooms do you want?
I want 3 bedrooms.
Okay, did I tell you of the price?
Yes, of course. 500,000.
No. This side, the salary went a bit high.
Why?
Because the paint we use is of good quality. So the place gained the value.
Which paint?
Global paint.
How?
For the ceiling, for us we use Global Mat. And for the inside walls, we use Global Silk Vinyl.
Okay, tell me about the outside walls.
Outside we use Global Weather Coat Emulsion so that the walls don't peel.
I'm really impressed. The precision you put while painting, I'm willing to pay any amount.
That is true, because here for us quality is paramount and the place becomes humidity.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
Why pay for someone else's repairs? Say goodbye to hidden costs and hello to peace of mind of a brand new start. Discover the Suzuki range of unmatched, fuel-efficient and reliable options. From the iconic Jimny to the new Across Hybrid. Find the perfect blend of style and world-class efficiency. Upgrade today and enjoy 1 year of free fuel and comprehensive insurance, plus 2 years of free service and a 3-year warranty. Trade in your current car or choose financing to start driving as you pay installments. Don't wait. Visit the Suzuki showroom today or call 0800-211-033 to get started.
The problem is the foundation.
Do you know the kind of cement I'm using in this foundation? I guarantee you even my grandchildren will come and find this house.
You buy your buy today and get the job done. Strong, reliable, available at hardware shops countrywide.
Uganda is moving forward. And at the heart of that movement is the most extensive fiber network in East Africa, with more than 15,000 kilometers of fiber and over 5,000 telecom mast sites. Soliton Telmec is the backbone that enables Uganda's telecom and digital infrastructure, connecting government services, businesses, homes, universities, hospitals, banks, villages, and telecom masts. We don't just build networks. We maintain and commercialize critical infrastructure that supports national development. East Africa's leading fiber company, connecting Uganda with the most capacity. Soliton Telmec, building networks for life.
Welcome back. Let's get straight back into the news. Now, business came to a standstill in several suburbs of Kampala and neighboring areas as campaigns for local council 1 and women council elections officially got underway. Candidates from different political affiliations held processions through their respective villages before addressing rallies where they pledged to tackle challenges ranging from poverty and poor sanitation to unemployment and insecurity.
The sound of vuvuzelas, whistles, and improvised metallic instruments echoed through the streets as local council 1 and women council candidates kicked off campaigns, taking their messages direct to the voters in the suburbs of Kampala and neighboring areas. Across different villages, candidates marched in colorful procession, chanting campaign slogans and rallying support as they sought to win the confidence of residents. In Mutungu Zone 4, Nawa Division, independent incumbent candidate Edward promise to prioritize and improve drainage system and fight household poverty by helping more residents benefit from parish development mode, commonly known as PDM.
I'm ready for them some jobs. There is programs like PDM. Money is there, but the problem is how we can reach our people.
Just a few meters away in the neighboring Mutungu Zone 3, youth employment took a percentage. One candidate promising to sort job seekers by providing recommendation letters free of charge.
If I'm given again a chance of coming back, I'm ready to introduce a new mechanism to see that the remaining issues that are not yet settled, they are settled.
From the Kawa division, our team proceeded to the outskirts of Kampala in Nassana municipality, Wakiso district. At Nawero Junction in Nassana East 2B, National Unity Platform candidate Richard Ja identified insecurity and inadequate access to clean water as some of the area's biggest challenge.
We have tried to put security lights in a black hole in our area, but there are some areas where we had not gone. We have tried to work on the small roads.
Nearby, another National Unity Platform candidate, Atadu Chiwendo, pledged to remain accessible to all residents, especially vulnerable groups. As candidates begin the race, the grassroots leadership positions, residents say campaign promises alone will not determine their votes. They insist that they will elect leaders with integrity, accountability, and proven commitment to serving the community.
The qualities of Chairperson LC1, the first thing is availability. Is the chairperson always available for people's concerns?
With campaigns now underway, candidates have the coming days to convince voters that they are the best placed to provide leadership at the village level.
Now, Uganda's upcoming local Council 1 elections are attracting an unprecedented mix of candidates from professionals and business people to former parliamentary aspirants. The race is signaling a growing appreciation of the influence of grassroots leadership now holds in governance and community development. Political analyst Dr. Arthur Bainum-Gisha says the shift reflects the increasing importance of local government as more public resources and government programs are developed to released to the grassroots.
On dusty village roads, training centres and community playgrounds across the country, campaigns for local Council 1 elections are gathering momentum. But beyond the posters, processions and campaign rallies, one trend is standing out. The rest is attracting professionals, business people, and even former parliamentary candidates seeking leadership at the grassroots. Among them is Stephen Kawesi, a former parliamentary aspirant who recently crossed from the National Unity Platform to the National Resistance Movement and is now seeking election as an LC1 chairperson. We found him on the campaign trail where he knelt alongside his wives and supporters before residents asking the electorate to forgive him for crossing from NUP to NRM and to entrust him with the responsibility of leading the village. Kawesi says his decision to contest for an LC1 position reflects his conviction that effective leadership begins at the grassroots where leaders work directly with communities to address their day-to-day challenges.
And I'm very, very sure my people are going to vote me. They are going to line behind me. It is going to be a very long line from here like up to there. Why? I have been good to them. I've been there for them.
Political and governance analyst Dr. Arthur Bainum-Gisha says this growing interest reflects the increasing importance of local governments as more public resources and development programs are devolved to parishes and villages.
The grassroots elections is the bedrock of decentralization. It means that the decentralization is being grounded.
According to Dr. Wainamgisha, the flow of government funding through parishes and local administrative structures has elevated the significance of LC1 leadership, making it a position that increasingly attracts people from diverse profession and political backgrounds.
A lot of money has gone down to the parishes, to the villages, and it makes sense that people follow the money.
He says that the participation of educated professionals should be welcomed, arguing that local leaders must be able to understand government policies and ensure that they are effectively implemented within their communities. However, he cautions that government must remain vigilant to ensure local leadership positions are not captured by individuals seeking to control public resources for personal gain.
Government also need to be very careful that the monies that are being sent to the grassroots, to the parishes, is not captured by the political elites and used for different purposes.
Uganda's constitution guarantees every eligible citizen the right to participate in the country's political process, and that constitutional right is reflected in the diversity of candidates now joining the race.
The campaigns for Local Council 1 and Women Council, they are gaining momentum so far, characterized by a massive wave of incumbent chairpersons seeking re-election. However, the traditional glamour of loud public procession is visibly absent in Barara City this season, adhering strictly to Electoral Commission guidelines which ban large public processions. Candidates have strategically shifted their approach to door-to-door mobilization.
Embracing a quiet, more intimate strategy, many politicians are opting for aggressive door-to-door mobilizing. This shift is also driven by the increasingly busy schedules of local residents, ensuring that voters are reached directly at their households without disrupting their daily work.
My strategy is to go door-to-door campaign. So long as I don't exceed the stipulated time.
We have a total of nominated candidates for chairpersons LC1. There are over 348, and yet we have 186 villages. So that shows how much the competition is going to be tight. And also for women, we have nominated...
According to Violet Atura, the Mbarara City Electoral Commission returning officer and administrator, the nomination exercise concluded successfully with candidates from the ruling NRM, PFF, and various independent political alignments successfully secured their places on the ballot. However, the race saw an early twist following official reports confirming the sudden withdrawal of the National Unity Platform NUP candidate from the local contest.
The participation of political parties, we received about 3 who showed interest. We had the ruling party, the NRM, the PFF, and the NUP had initially showed contest in South Division. We nominated 1 candidate in South, but the reports I'm getting as I'm retrieving is that person has withdrawn. I'm yet to confirm that, but the person withdrew.
To ensure a coordinated and formidable front, the NRM Secretariat has organized a major mobilization baraza or community dialogue scheduled for tomorrow. The meeting is aimed to perfectly streamline campaign logistics and brief party structures on the upcoming national exercise.
Yesterday we had an engagement, stakeholders engagement with the NRM Secretariat, and the promised that we're going to have barazas in every village to show people the party's candidates and also to urge them to rally behind their candidates so that the party can win with 100%. That's what they said.
Now, controversy has emerged within the ruling National Resistance Movement in Toro District after several Local Council 1 candidates accused party officials of irregularly reallocating NRM flags, forcing some winners of the party primaries to contest as independents. The complaints surfaced as the party launched a reconciliation drive aimed at persuading independent candidates to step down in favor of official NRM flag bearers ahead of the 28th July village elections. Our reporter David Ocheng was on ground and did compile this report.
The ruling National Resistance Movement has intensified efforts to consolidate support for its flag bearers in Tororo District. Led by the chairperson of the NRM Electoral Commission, Dr. Tango Doi, the party has embarked on a series of reconciliation meetings aimed at persuading candidates contesting as independents to withdraw from the race and rally behind the endorsed NRM flag bearers, leaving them to compete against opposition candidates. The campaign, which has begun in Kisoko and Peta sub-counties, has already registered significant progress. Of the more than 100 candidates who attended the meetings, nearly half agreed to step down, leaving 38 NRM flag bearers unopposed within the party.
If we can build consensus, which is our major role now in mobilization, by 28th, we shall have less friction.
Despite the breakthrough, the meeting has also exposed deep-seated grievances over parties' internal electoral processes. Several candidates claim that despite winning party primaries and in some cases being declared unopposed and issued with party flags, they were shocked to discover that on nomination day, their flags had been reassigned to other individuals without any explanation. Many subsequently opted to contest as independents.
The chairperson refused to stamp my form, and he told me that my flag was given to someone.
It's like we are forcing ourselves to be in the movement, and yet other leaders are chasing us away.
Reliable party sources indicate that many of those affected were allegedly dropped because they supported independent candidates during the recently concluded parliamentary elections. However, the aggrieved members agree that such punishment is unfair, insisting that party flag bearers are chosen by voters, not individual party officials.
Other people, they decided to follow independent candidate, but it doesn't mean they left party aside. They are going with the rightful leaders.
Responding to the complaints, Dr. Tango Doi condemned the alleged manipulation of party decisions, saying that the will of party members must always be respected. He revealed that some of the affected candidates had already had their flags restored, while others chose to remain independent after completing nomination.
In those villages, the 4 villages have reprimanded the registrars. I've also called the district registrar to rein in on the parish registrars and the sub-county registrars where such happened.
The reconciliation exercise will now be rolled out across the 7 constituencies in Tororo district, covering 1,337 villages, as the NRM seeks to reunite its ranks and maximize the chances of securing victory in the upcoming LC1 elections.
Governance experts have warned that Uganda's increasingly cautious political environment could have far-reaching implications for democratic governance. They attribute the trend to continued arrests of opposition leaders, legal challenges facing political actors, and growing self-censorship, saying these developments are discouraging open political participation and narrowing the country's democratic space.
The political temperature appears to be changing, where opposition politics, civil activism, and robust public debate once dominated the political space. Analysts now say many Ugandans are becoming increasingly cautious about expressing political opinions. Governance expert Timothy Chimonges says the trend is closely linked to the continued arrest of opposition politicians, legal proceedings against political actors, and restrictions affecting some civil society organizations. According to Chimonges, what is emerging is a culture of self-preservation where citizens increasingly choose silence over speaking out.
Against the rule of law, vocal on matters, respect of the questions of democracy. And so there's very clear direction in terms of the narrative of what people should say, how people should think, and the dynamics of how even the fourth estate.
He warns that when alternative voices retreat from the public sphere, democracy itself is weakened.
Alternative views, alternative thinking will greatly be undermined. And I think that we are in a place where critique, where alternative thinking is largely viewed as, opposed or being anti-establishment.
Policy analyst Godbert Mushabe believes the country is experiencing growing public frustration, even if it is not always visible. He urges that beneath the apparent calm lies widespread anxiety over governance, accountability, and political freedoms.
It's a disquiet that is very, very discomforting and that can be problematic if you have a country of 40 million people and that's the way it is projecting itself. There is a disquiet that is completely concerning, and because when you talk to many people across the country, the ones I interact with, you really see there is a sense of despair, there is a sense of anger.
Tumushabe says Uganda has made progress in infrastructure, economic planning, citing long-term development strategies, but argues that sustainable development also depends on freedom and strong institutions.
In most cases, you lack scale. In other cases, you lack the spatial distribution, so you find some concentration in Kampala. And so there is that software. And the ultimate software of any economy is freedom. So a population that is free, that feels a sense of freedom, is more confident.
Political analyst Professor Rogers Baligayomwe says political participation should never be confined to a select few, warning that suppressing dissent may only postpone deeper national grievances. He says societies where citizens fear expressing alternative opinions risk storing up tensions that may emerge in more difficult ways later.
As a consultant in conflict studies, such a situation is even more worrying than the previous one, because then people are going to keep quiet with their grievances, and then at one time this thing might erupt into a more dangerous kind of conflict.
The experts agree that while caution may offer temporary political stability, a healthy democracy requires open debate, competing ideas and institutions that allow citizens to participate without fear.
Uganda will be going to the polls very soon for the LC1 or Local Council 1 elections, and there's a lot of excitement. If you have noticed, there's a lot of campaigning going around, but also what has caught the eye of the many is that, look, the elite who never used to occupy these offices are now excited to join in on the race. Now, to throw more light on that, joining us is Honorable Jara Mapenduzi, the Member of Parliament for Bardege Laibi constituency, and also former Chairman Gulu. Many thanks for joining us this evening. I'm sure there is excitement in Gulu and everywhere that you've passed. What would you say is the excitement? These are offices that are not even paid in terms of salary.
Well, there is excitement everywhere, and this excitement symbolizes growing interest in the affairs of, everyone seems to be getting more interested in understanding and also getting involved in the affairs that concerns them. And so, and you need to know that every citizen in this country at least belongs to a village, and there are about 71,214 villages. And so you and I who belong to villages would definitely be interested in seeing the kind of leaders we elect to lead our villages, the quality they present, but most importantly, you need to understand what role a chairman of a village or a cell in an urban setting plays. They do a lot in terms of they provide leadership in mobilizing the community. They also have to monitor implementation of government programs in their respective villages. They have to support self-help projects. And there are a lot of things that they do. And so Ugandans are becoming more interested in understanding, but also ensuring accountability. And so unlike in the past when people, would not bother, now people are more interested. And so that is a good indicator, because all of us have to be involved, but also all of us have to make sure we get leaders who can represent us, who can lead us, but also who can be held accountable. The LC1s play very important roles.
Yeah, I hear you, Honorable. When you flip it, the other side of the coin, the critics are saying that this is also an NRM problem. That you have so many people who are unemployed, so whatever space that is available for them to contest and even get, or even fight for the fee that comes with that LC1 stamp, is that they will do their best, they will do anything possible to make sure they occupy that position. So maybe that could partly or partially explain the excitement.
Well, it's not necessarily about being unemployed, because look, when you look at the caliber of people coming now, some of them are people who are in well-established businesses. Some of them are people, you can imagine someone who stood for parliament is saying, I need to come back to my village. And because if you cannot start from your village, then what kind of... So to me, it's not just about unemployment. I think Ugandans are beginning to appreciate that for better governance, for effective service delivery, for, people to get what they expect, there must be strong leadership at the foundation. There must be people who can hold government accountable, but also mobilize the population and also make sure that resources that are sent down are utilized in the manner that is expected. So when you see people running down and becoming leaders at the grassroots, it's a good indicator. Yes, you may think it's about unemployment, but on the other side, I think it's good because then when you have serious people down there, then you begin to get good results of the services you need, yeah.
Right, and also looking at it, we just come fresh from an election at the start of this year. We went into a few by-elections here and there, like the one of Kalangala. We're literally in an election every other month. I would say we are in a post-election period that is ushering us into another election period. The disputes, the wounds, everything is still fresh. Do you think, what sort of election do you think is coming up in this LC1?
Well, the fortunate part is that this election is going to be managed at village level. And so you belong to a particular village, will come up in the morning, you know every member of that village, you know the people contesting. So there is, I don't think there is going to be a lot of problem. Yes, every village will have electoral officials who are going to manage and all that. And so I think it's going to be run well. I would expect that where I come from, everything will move on well. And so the same applies to you. You need to be concerned, but also take responsibility as a member of a village to make sure that the exercise is conducted peacefully. Because you are electing your leaders in a village. And so you need to be sober, you need to be involved, and you need to make sure you get the best from those who are contesting. And so I don't expect to have much problem, but of course the people who are managing this process should make sure they do a good job so that the outcome is good. Yeah.
Honorable Jara Mapenduzi, many thanks for speaking to us tonight and sharing your views with us on the LC1 elections. Well, I don't know what you're up to, but when those elections do come up, we do, of course, everyone is expected to go and not cast the ballot, but line up behind their favorite candidate. I want to see how that will turn out and whether we'll have a new crop of leaders in the LC1 elections. NBS 11/9 takes a break. We'll return in a bit.
Every business begins with belief. The belief that tomorrow can be bigger than today. But waiting to be paid should never hold ambition back. With NCBA Working Capital Solutions, unpaid invoices become opportunity. Because some ambitions build more than businesses, they build futures. At NCBA, we bank on belief, empowering ambition with tailored financial solutions built around your business. Whatever your next move, we are here to help you grow. Access unsecured loans of up to 500 million Uganda shillings plus 6 months of free banking. Ko NCBA Bank, Chigwa Kuwerere. Visit any NCBA Bank branch today and unlock the momentum your business deserves.
NCBA Bank, go for it.
All right, listen up. Colgate is on a mission. It's kind of a big thing. Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate Science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
Colgate Charcoal Gentle Clean cleans and polishes teeth for a whiter smile and a naturally fresh and clean mouth. Choose natural. Choose Colgate Charcoal.
Ready to invest at the Kabaliga Petro Best Industrial Park? Booking your site visit is simple. Step 1. Visit kip.unok.com and click Create Account. Enter your company details and your authorized representative's information, then submit. Your login credentials will be sent to your email. Step 2. Return to the portal and sign in. Step 3. Click Book Site Visit. Select your zone, describe your business and land requirements, then submit your request. You will receive a confirmation with your schedule shared by 29th July 2026. Don't get stuck. Our team is with you every step of the way. Book by 30th July 2026. Site visits commence by 11th to 25th of August. For support, contact support.kip@unok.com today. Invest in KIP. Invest in Uganda. Kabalega Petro Best Industrial Park, a project by the Ugandan National Oil Company, UNOC.
Notice of special seating of Parliament to pay tribute to the late Right Honourable Retired General Moses Ali. Honourable members are informed that there will be a special seating of Parliament on Tuesday 21st of July 2026 at 10 a.m. to pay tribute to the late Right Honourable Retired General Moses Ali, who passed away on Saturday 18th of July 2026 at Nakasero Hospital. Adolf Mwesige Kasaija, Clerk to Parliament.
Spice up your breakfast with Prestige margarine, easy to spread and fortified with vitamins A, D and E in the original and vanilla flavor, turning everyday moments into quiet indulgence. And now, a delightful new experience unfolds. Introducing Prestige Fruity, a luscious fusion of creamy spread and strawberry flavor, bringing everything you love into one simple, delicious layer. No extra spreads, just pure fruity satisfaction in every bite. Prestige margarine, sprayed it, taste it, love it. Available in all shops and supermarkets nationwide. Distributed by Chapa General Enterprises, located at shop number 3, Rafik Building, Chikuwo, Kampala.
You need a bigger space to grow your business. You need to be ready for any season.
We need to stop here before we roll.
You need faster checkouts for these busy days.
In business, you need advice, solutions, and sector expertise when it matters.
Your new office space looks great. What's next?
We get it. Absa Business Banking.
How do you make a party? You take time to prepare, to bring all the pieces together, to craft it right. The result, great refreshment. And that makes it time well spent. Club, brewed longer for longer refreshment.
Talking about Uganda solving Uganda's problems, it is the Prime Minister Robin Ndabanja that has warned officials who have intentions of diverting emergency relief food for vulnerable households in Karamoja sub-region that they will face severe punishment. Robin Ndabanja sounded the warning while officiating at the flagging off of food relief to Karamoja at the National Enterprise Corporation offices in Kampala. The relief operation comes days after reports that 19 persons had succumbed to hunger in the region.
For months, Karamoja has been hit by prolonged drought and failed harvests. The result has left thousands of residents facing acute hunger, with reports indicating that 19 people have died of starvation. But in an effort to save lives, the government has intervened. On Monday morning, UPDF trucks loaded with tons of maize flour and beans were flagged off from the National Enterprise Corporation in Kampala to Karamoja.
So it is my honor, on behalf of the President, to flag off food, relief food, up to Karamoja, to the parish.
Prime Minister Robin Ndabanja warned officials against diverting the relief, saying anyone caught will face disciplinary action.
There will be no tolerance for diversion or theft or misuse of relief supplies. The other time we had issues when we took relief food in Karamoja, some leaders were implicated. And so this time, anyone found culpable will be dealt with according to the law.
The emergency food intervention comes after a dry spell left the people of Karamoja with no food. Nabanja explains that the relief intervention was a directive from the president to which the prisons and National Enterprise Corporation were tasked to offer the food at a cheaper price. Nabanja highlighted that the private suppliers were charging exorbitant fees.
Now, the president told me, please get in touch with your brother Mugira and your brother, the Commissioner of Prisons. They have food which can be supplied at relatively cheaper price. Indeed, NEC is supplying this at a very cheap price of 2,800 per kilogram of posho and 4,000 per kilogram of beans.
More than 3,000 households across the 9 districts that make up Karamoja sub-region are to benefit from the distribution. Over 9 million kilograms of food will be distributed, and due to the long distances the people have to travel to get the food, government has set up specific points to access it.
Mark this word, we are delivering at the parish, because we realize that the people of Karamoja walk long distances to the sub-county.
Executive Director of the National Enterprise Corporation, Lieutenant General James Mujira, says the UPDF has managed to grow food that could help Ugandans as it is its mandate. However, the Minister for Disaster Preparedness, Sam Engola, says a permanent solution should be found to curb the dry spells within the region.
Article 209B of the C of the Constitution provides that we shall always support and cooperate with civilian authorities in times of emergency. So my appeal is the dams and the silos to save the people. Once I'm given the power, I'll do it immediately.
Residents are expected to start receiving the relief food on Tuesday at the designated points. A move area leaders say brings much needed relief.
General Mujira has a very good broadcasting voice. I guess he should try part-time anchoring. Well, away from that, actually local leaders under their umbrella, LC5 Chairpersons Caucus have asked government to address the effect of the prolonged drought in the region. In a joint press conference, they want an immediate response by government, just as government has been doing in other regions like Karamoja in the midst of elephant raids and Balalo impact.
3 months of drought, elephant raids and Balalo impact. District chairperson under the caucus of district chairpersons have raised issue of drought and silence from government, even when official letters have been written to responsible ministries.
This dry spell, it has been communicated clearly. It has started. It is about to end, but even when it ends, there is no food to eat. Seed can be given, yes, but let food come immediately.
We have so far registered 8 people who lost their life due to hunger. And in the various health centers, we are having 126 patients who are sick just because of hunger.
In the districts neighboring the animal parks, the local leaders say crops have been eaten up by elephants.
There's hunger in my district. Between June and July, we have admitted a total of 351 people out of malnutrition. All these are indicators of hunger.
5 chairpersons also raised the issue of Balalo evasions in Padre district and the poor roads connecting the districts.
Commonly known as Moroto Road is also affecting so many issues in terms of industrialization in our area. The Balalo cattle keepers, they come, they leave the animals to roam and destroy crops.
They are now appealing to government for food donation and seeds to be planted in the next season of rain to help the local community.
Uganda has faced 3 distinct strains of the Ebola virus over past 2 decades. And over time, the scars left behind look fresh in the minds of the victims that lost their loved ones or those that live with the trauma of the deadly virus. Henry Mugenyi spent several days in Western Uganda speaking to survivors, families, health workers who buried their colleagues and children left orphaned by the deadly outbreak.
Bundibujo district lies about 380 kilometers west of Kampala. It borders Kasese, Ntoroko, and Kabaro districts, as well as Uganda's border with the DRC. Between 2007 to 2008, an Ebola outbreak swept through this very district. With little experience in dealing with Ebola virus then, it wasn't easy to detect the virus by the authorities. That outbreak claimed the lives of over 30 people.
And during that time, it came as a strange disease, unknown, and there are the doctors couldn't understand what is going on. Likewise, the community.
It took us time to diagnose it, to detect it, but when eventually it was detected with the intervention of all health facilities and partners, they found it was different from Ebola Congo, Ebola Zaire, and Ebola Sudan.
This village was among the hardest hit. Even today, whenever residents hear news of another Ebola outbreak, painful memories are awakened. Alice Kabuo witnessed the harrowing story of the Ebola outbreak then. She survived the outbreak, but luck was not on the side of her daughter. She died, a death that left Alice's life devastated. Today, Alice lives with painful memories and quiet resilience. Every mention of Ebola reminds her of everything she lost. The grief that lives with Alice is shared by many families across this parish and throughout Bundibujo district. For them, Ebola remains a painful reminder of unimaginable tragedy. This particular wave swept indiscriminately across the district. Health workers were not spared. Chicho Health Center 4 holds a special place in Bundibujo's history. When the outbreak erupted in 2007, very little was known about what was killing the people. Knowledge about the disease and how to protect against it was still limited.
To be specific, that strain was discovered in this very place of Kikyo. So at that moment, 2007, we first received patients who were presenting with high fevers. Some of them getting blood out of the nose, the mouth, and general body weakness. And at first they thought it is these other common illnesses like malaria, but with time people began dying.
In those uncertain and frightening days, the medical teams at this health facility worked tirelessly to save lives. Many of them became infected. Some buried their own colleagues after they succumbed to Ebola. One name that continues to command enormous respect in this underbelly is Dr. Yona Kule, a man remembered as a hero not only in Bundibujo but throughout Uganda's health sector. Dr. Kule was a son of Bundibujo who had trained as a medical doctor from the College of Health Sciences at Makerere University. When Ebola struck his home district, he had only recently completed his medical training and began his career. But when he learned that the people in his community were dying, he quickly returned, volunteering to use his medical skills to care for his own people. Working alongside fellow health workers, Dr. Kule fought day and night to treat patients suffering from a disease that was still poorly understood. Sadly, he too contracted Ebola.
he did not survive.
He got information that there is an outbreak of a certain disease that is killing people in the mountainous part of this district. And some of the health workers got scared, could not go and rescue these people. But as a courageous man and one of the communities in the mountains, he felt it was a betrayal if he did not go and rescue his people. A few days, he decided to go and pick his daughter from school in Kampala. And when he reached Kampala, he did not feel well. He decided to admit himself to Mulago Hospital until the hospital management discovered that he had contracted the virus. At night, the wife told me, "Your brother is gone."
Although Dr. Kule lost his life, he left behind a powerful legacy of courage, sacrifice, and service, qualities that strengthened the resolve of fellow health workers and contributed to Bundibujo's eventual victory of Ebola.
We as the Bundibujo district government, we have to pick some lessons. And some of those lessons are the ones we are applying during even this current preparedness and response.
For many families in Western Uganda, especially in Bundibujo, Ebola is more than the name of a disease. It represents fear. It represents the loss of loved ones. It represents lives changed forever in a matter of days. In some homes, the fear still lingers. But residents say access to accurate information and close cooperation with the government helped them understand that Ebola can be prevented, contained, and defeated. Scientists and public health experts continue to urge the public not to believe rumors or misinformation circulating on social media. Instead, they encourage people to rely on guidance from healthcare professionals and government authorities.
Now let's come back into some politics. The UPC Parliamentary Caucus has condemned the ongoing efforts by the Patriotic League of Uganda to out-party President Jimmy Akena and install a new leader, describing the move as illegal, unconstitutional and an affront to the party's internal structures. Addressing the media at the Parliament on Monday, the caucus said no pressure group has the authority to impose leadership on the Uganda's People's Congress. The MPs urged party supporters to remain calm and united and to reject what they termed as schemes aimed at weakening the party. They further described it as shocking that the purported new leader of UPC is not known to them as elected UPC members of Parliament, dismissing the entire process.
The committee categorically rejects and disassociates itself from the pronouncements made by the officials of the Patriotic League of Uganda, PLU, purporting to remove the legitimate leadership of UPC and impose other persons as leaders of the party. Such actions are unconstitutional, unlawful, and of no legal effect. We want to disassociate ourselves from the statement made by some PLU to impose one person called Edimi Nap. In his statement, Edimi Nap is saying he has been duly elected by the National Council of UPC for him to be the party president of UPC. That is not true, and I want to disassociate that he has never appeared in any UPC delegate conference. Some of us who are members of parliament don't even know him. We only saw him on social media.
So this makes me say, legally and constitutionally, as our party mandate says, he is not the legally elected party president of Uganda.
Whatever happens, we shall stick to our internal policies. We are not going to deviate simply because somebody has come out and say that we have to do this. We are going to follow the constitution of Uganda, and we are going to follow the UPC constitution. We shall not deviate as the members of the Uganda People's Congress.
I want to inform you that the UPC party president supports constructive engagement with all parties in this country. And its constructive engagement should not be misinterpreted by other political parties.
Feedback brought to you by. In business, you need advice, solutions, and sector expertise when it matters.
Your new office space looks great. What's next?
We get it. Absa Business Banking.
Well, it's about time we get into our feedback this evening and see what you had to say. The question that we're asking is very simple. Government dispatches food aid to the hunger-hit Karamoja sub-region. In your view, what is the best long-term solution to hunger in Karamoja? Hashtag NBS Live at 9.
And Harriet Regan. The long-term solution to hunger in Karamoja is to invest in climate-smart agriculture, irrigation, resilient livestock production, and livelihood diversification to achieve sustainable food security. How do you merge that with tradition and culture?
I know. Sometimes we just need to let's take food. Derek says government has failed to solve for so long, but the best solution is provide irrigation schemes to enable practice farming, which would provide more food for themselves.
Good. And Cosmos says the best long-term solution to hunger, is there a long-term solution that isn't the best? Okay, but this one is the best, is transitioning from resilience on emergency relief food to a fully integrated climate resilient agro-pastoral economy. A fully integrated climate resilient agro-pastoral economy.
You get it?
Because lasting food security requires tackling the region's structural vulnerabilities. That bit there sounded like a theme for Uganda's Independence Day.
Oh, wow. Climate resilient agro-pastoral economy.
Or a manifesto.
Oh, wow. Looking on the bright side, I think that it's good that it's being addressed, it's being attacked in some kind of way, that people should always be fed. That's my opinion.
And it is NBS Live at 9 that does take a break.
Mala UniPride Bank. It is so easy. You just have to maintain a minimum monthly balance of 100K and we'll give you health insurance for free.